Hi everyone, just wanted to send out a quick mid-market update as we get into the summer months. As you know, we've had a lot of changes in the market recently and people were asking for my thoughts on it, so just thought I'd send out a quick video. First, really quickly, some numbers to give you an idea where we are in different regions, starting with Toronto for detached homes. We're currently at roughly 2.5 months of inventory. And to put that in perspective, last year at this time, we were at just over 1 month of inventory, so it's more than doubled. The condo market is following the same trend. We're at roughly 1.5 months, up from 2 weeks. As we get further west into Mississauga and Oakville, we're closer to that 3-month mark. And when you consider that when we were at our peak at the beginning of this year, we were at just over 2 weeks of inventory to go up to 3 months, that's a pretty big change. Why is this happen? As you know, we've had the announcement from the provincial government in late April for their housing measures. Nothing specific about any particular policy that they announced, but it did have a big psychological effect. First off, on sellers. When they announced it, a lot of people were on the fence about selling, and then all of a sudden the announcement comes, people decided to try to cash out, and all of a sudden we had a lot more listings on the market. I can tell you as realtors, within a couple of weeks, we saw almost double the amount of listings start to come on board. And you couple that with the effect that it had on buyers. Buyers had a tough time. People were looking for many months for a home, some of them over a year. All of a sudden this announcement comes and people are thinking, well, I waited this long, let's step back a little bit and see what happens with the market. So on one hand, a lot more listings, and then on the other hand, buyers just being willing to be a little bit more patient. And the end result is for the market to become much more balanced. And when I say balanced, really what I'm referring to is those numbers I mentioned earlier, 2 months, 3 months of inventory. In some of those areas, technically, we are still in a seller's market. In order to be a buyer's market, we need 6 months of inventory. And I look back at the stats, some of them going back, even at the recession of 2008 when it was economic driven, we never even came close to that. So getting into 3 months, that just becomes more balanced. And that is we're seeing that is starting to level off now. And it's just becoming just more of a comfortable time for both buyers and sellers. What have prices gone down in some areas? Yes, between 5 and 15%. And the best way to describe that is that I'm sure everybody's seen a listing or two in the last couple of years, and you're wondering, how did that ever sell for that much? Well, those listings are gone. People are no longer just buying anything, thinking that the price is going to go up 30%. But listings that are prepared properly, priced properly, those homes are still selling. They're taking a little bit longer because buyers have now more product out there, so they're looking a bit longer, but between 2.5 to 25 days. And we're not seeing any price drops in those type of houses. What does this mean for you? Well, if you're not one of those people that you're not planning on selling, you're just wondering about your portfolio, maybe you bought a year ago and you're wondering whether the value is still there, I assure you it is. Even though in some areas, we've had some price drops between 5 and 15%. Remember, starting around 2015, we've had price increases of 30+%. So that's still 20% year over year. And those weren't sustainable increases. So this is still a good thing. Your value is still there. If you do have to sell, as I mentioned, listings that are prepared properly, priced properly, they're still going and they're going for good money. And that's up to your realtor to help you for that. The biggest difference in a balanced market is that you will typically sell first, find out exactly how much money you have, and now you have that time to look around. You don't have to jump at the first thing. You can do a conditional buy. You can do home inspections, financing clause. These are all good things that make just a more comfortable experience. I know that when the market's at its peak, it can be really exciting to say that, oh, I got 50,000 more than my neighbor a year ago. But keep in mind that unless you're retiring and cashing out, when you sell at a high market, you still have to buy at a high market. So there's a trade-off there. For those that are looking to buy, this is a very good time for buyers. You have that comfort zone to look around. How long this is going to stay like this, we don't know. Some people are talking about the spring of next year. And the reason for that is that a lot of this excess inventory that we have right now, they're not real listings. A lot of people are just trying to cash out at the peak. Their listings they're overpriced. They're not motivated to really sell them. And these will start to taper off. We had some listings that were caught mid-market. people that were bought at the peak, at very high at the beginning of the year, and they didn't pivot in time, and now they have to sell. Those are starting to taper off as well. So we're going to start to see a little bit of more of a reduction in inventory. My general rule of thumb is not to chase the market. If you're happy where you are, stay. And if you see something you like, buy it. That said, as I mentioned, this is the first time in a very long time that we have breathing room as buyers. You can look around, you can do a home inspection, you can do financing clause. Whether we have this next year, I don't know, but I would take advantage of it as we have it right now. If you're curious about your own neighborhood, you'd like to know how much your house is worth, if you'd like to know how much the house you'd like to have is worth, feel free to reach out. And as always, if you do know anybody looking to buy or sell, I'm never too busy for referrals. Thanks and have a great summer. I'm Stefan Rosic at RE/MAX of Downtown.